Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I am Balin from Tata Consultancy Services, and I am a cloud engineer. And I'm going to talk today about artificial general intelligence, and also we are going to talk about responsible AI, but that's going to be my colleague's part. So, oh yes, that's what I was looking for. OK, so let's go and let's see. What is artificial general intelligence? It's actually also called as strong AI. It's a kind of AI that would possess, it's actually an imaginary AI at the moment, it does not exist yet. It would be possessing the same level or even surpassing the level of our intelligence, and it would be understand and learn the world in ways that current narrow AIs cannot. And let's see, however, but what are the challenges so that we can achieve this? The first thing is the consciousness and the sentience, meaning that they will be able to understand themselves as we can understand ourselves, and they can also have feelings. How can we create such a machine to have feelings? The problem with this is that we even don't fully understand the human consciousness, and so it makes it difficult for us to replicate the same in machines. And the question is, that can an intelligent machine be without a subjective experience? Can it exist without subjective experience? Like we, all of us, have subjective experiences that makes us who we are. Next one is, that is a challenge also, is a kind of general problem-solving capacity. Like humans can apply knowledge and skills to solve a wide range of problems in new situations. Humans can even solve problems with their knowledge that is completely different from the situation they are in. Even if they haven't been trained or haven't been taught or haven't been shown by anyone, they try to come up with something, and they try to find out something just to solve a problem. The question is, can artificial general intelligence achieve this level of flexibility? Or should it, because can it achieve this without being programmed explicitly for every task? Or like currently, if you think about all the AI stuff, even large language models is kind of like machine learning, but with bigger amount of data, and they are still having domain-related models. So you don't have a general intelligence that can be used for everything at the same time. And the next one is also coming from this kind of, is the common sense reasoning. Because humans can understand and navigate the complexities of the real world with common sense reasoning. You just think about the situation and you intuitively come up with a solution at some point. How can we make this in the machines? How can they be like us? Like, there is an example. For example, say you are driving in the night, you are in your car, and you have to stop because you see a traffic light that is red. And it's in your way, so you stop because the traffic light is red. Traffic light has gone wrong, and so it stays red. And what do you do? As a human being, and also please note that there is no other cars there, there is no other information. You are on the road during the night, there is the traffic light that is red, and it's red for too long time. What do you do? Of course, at some point, you drive further, right? Because you know that, oh, this has gone wrong probably, that's why it's so much. Like, it's there for an hour already and nothing happened. You don't wait even for an hour to go further. What happens to a self-driving car for the same reason? If it happens that the self-driving car meets the same situation, the self-driving car is programmed in a way that it wants to avoid the accidents, it wants to stick to the rules to some extent, and because currently I deliberately said that there are no other cars which could actually signal that, okay, something happens and the other cars are going so that I have to go. So there is no other thing that would tell the self-driving AI that something has to be done. All he sees is that currently I'm here and the red light is there. Would it be waiting for an hour? It does not have like a common sense that can go out of the box and thinks, let's do something, because it can't be the case that it has to be there. So these are the challenges from a creation point of view, but there are also philosophical implications. like the nature of our intelligence. The question is, if we can create a machine, what does it tell about our intelligence? Can it be just put into some machine and that's it? There is no transcendence, nothing. It's just something that can be coded into a machine. And it means that are we just simply complex machines ourselves? And also, about consciousness, if machines will be able to feel and refer to themselves as we humans do, what are the ethical implications? Do they also deserve some rights, some basic so-called human rights or something like that? And what will be the future of humanity? Could AGI surpass the human intelligence altogether? If it goes to the same level or even surpasses far beyond, then what will happen to our role in society, which is dominated by superintelligent machines? So these are the things that we have to think about. But currently, here we are at the current stage of the research, where we are at this project. How can we achieve this? By when can we achieve this? These are the questions also. Currently, there is not even a single agreed upon approach how we can achieve an artificial general intelligence. Some people say that if we are creating increasingly sophisticated algorithms, then maybe we can get some answer to the question. The interesting thing is that the problem with that is that humans have knowledge by their experience, which is the kind of experiential knowledge or instinct, or they also have gut feelings. If you put the AI as it's in current situation into an open environment, currently it has to go through all the vast majority of data, making a lot of decisions based on that data. If you are a human, you usually don't do that. What you do in any situation is probably not going through a vast majority of database and weighing all the options. Sometimes you just get one solution instinctively as you see the situation, or 3 or 4 options and you choose one. But you are not actually meticulously go through lots of data. And this kind of thing, I think AI currently cannot do, because AI currently is, what is it? It's probabilities and a lot of data actually at the moment. But some others say that, okay, let's create something like an artificial brain, which is like a human brain, an artificial consciousness. What they try to do, they try to infuse these systems with prior symbolic knowledge. They try to give it information about the world, like properties of objects, cause and effect relationships. And there are some cases when they have actually achieved learning, for example, learning of movements with rich sensory data for robots. But these things are not at the level yet, so currently we still cannot say that there is one general artificial intelligence that can do like a human can do. The question is it possible to create artificial general intelligence? And the question is that, yes, maybe at some point it will be possible, but still there are lots of hurdles to overcome. Currently we have deep learning, which is enhanced by knowledge bases, and we have some level of reasoning, but it's all domain related. So if you think about, like, Amazon has like a coding system where you put your comments in and it's able to write the code for you. Okay, it can do very well in the coding situation itself. But you as a human being, you're able to drive a car, you're able to plow the garden, you're able to do a lot of things which that AI, there is no AI that can do everything right now, like in a general purpose, like another human could do. Also, the philosophical questions still remain open that we have discussed before. But we cannot rule out that it can come at some point, because there is lots of research and there is lots of progress. It's very rapidly progressing, so it could be that it can come. Some say it's incredibly difficult, or maybe it's even impossible. Some others say that it's just a question of time. Maybe within this century we'll meet the artificial general intelligence. But if we will ever do this, it means that it will have profound implications for all aspects of human society, from economy to warfare. Everything will be completely changed. Imagine 30 years ago, or if you think about 1950s, where the computer room was as big, like it was actually as big as a room, or several rooms. Have you ever thought that 50 years after you will have, like, I don't know, 100 times more computational capacity in the palm of your hand, which you can use internet with? No. You probably, at that time, you wouldn't have thought. similarly to this, this is actually something we can't even imagine fully what it means. That's why it's very important to consider, it's very crucial to consider the ethical and philosophical implications of this powerful technology. And here comes our next point of responsible AI, which my colleague Prashun is going to talk about.
Thank you, Valent, for giving me the just for representation of myself. So my name is Prashun. I am currently leading data and analytics in Tata Consultancy Services. Here, we want to discuss about responsible AI. Okay, so before I go into responsible AI, just let us start from the concept which my colleague has ended, that the main purpose of my of the artificial general intelligence is that we want to create a robot, but the robot will work like a human being. So that is his concept. Now, obviously, there will be some kinds of responsibility which will be associated with this particular AI principles. Now, today we are all hearing about AI is in a boom. But if you think honestly, AI was there 50 years back also. But only the name was changed, actually. So if we think for the last 10 years or last 20 years, it was in a different name. We used to call it data science. We used to call it machine learning, which we call, in today's world, we call just traditional AI. But when in the last year or last to last year, when this OpenAI company has introduced the ChatGPT and those kinds of software, which are the generative AI, at that time, this AI is becoming a boom. And when AI is becoming a boom, so AI is right now using by any kinds of guys, like like the children even able to do work with the AI, even the non-technical persons are able to work with the AI. So that here, there is a concept like this responsible AI concept come. This responsible AI is basically establish the principles and practices to enable AI development and AI deployment with some ethical, fair, accountable, and transparent policies. So this is how this responsible AI is. If I now think of responsible AI, there are mainly 4 ways where this principle and practices are working. So basically, what we have to do, we have to minimize the bias in the AI system. Now, how this bias happens? This bias happens in many ways. Number 1, whenever we train the model, we can train the model with some kinds of data, which is a biased data. Like, let me give you one example. In 2015, one of the very big companies, they have introduced one software or one AI model, we can say, that was doing the recruitment. And when they were doing the recruitment, or maybe they were doing the in the recruitment phase, there is a way, like when we select the candidates. During the selection stage, when this model was trained, at that time, all the data which was fed into the model, that was with all males data, actually. Now, the problem happened when the particular AI model works. At that time, the woman candidate who has been applied for that particular job role or something, at that time they were rejected. So this is the kind of biasness in the system. Many other examples are not there. I am not going into that detail. There are ways to protecting the privacy, because in European Union, GDPR is one of the main constant. And if someone is giving the model training with some personal data, that is becoming very problematic. We have to maintain the security, because the problem is that the more and more days are going, more and more AI models are coming up. So when more and more AI models are coming up, they are more vulnerable to the security. So those kinds of problems are happening, as well as we have to maintain the transparency and accountability. So if I think of responsible AI, which is our topic, so responsible AI, the focus is principles and practices which we will ensure for the AI development and deployment is ethical, fair, accountable, and transparent. And there are few goals of that we already discussed. Now, there is another similar kinds of topic which is called explainable AI. Now, if we think of explainable AI and responsible AI, they are just 2 phases of a coin. Now, let us understand what is explainable AI. If I think in a very lucid language, explainable AI is something where the principal will tell us how this AI model is working. So let's say there is a situation when there is a fraudulent transaction happened in a bank. Like I am going to another country, and there I have gone to buy a cup of coffee. The coffee price was $100. When I did that transaction, at that time that transaction was blocked, and it was told that this is kind of fraudulent transaction. Now the problem is that I don't know why that transaction was fraudulent. Is it because of the money? Is it because I have done this transaction from a different country and just 1 hour back I was in a different country? This may be any kind of reason. But the problem is that these kind of facts are not showing to the end user. And so explainable AI, we are saying that these are the methods and tools to understand how AI models arrive at their decision. And what are the implications of that? If we do that, what we will get? So it will give us increased trust, it will improve the fairness, it will give us better decision-making capabilities. So this is how these particular tools are there. Now, obviously, I understand this is called explainable AI. Explainable AI means the AI will explain me how I am working, what my model is going to do. That is fine. There is no problem. But let's say how these AI models arrive at their decision, so that we have to understand the different techniques. So there are a few techniques. One technique is feature attribution. In feature attribution, what we used to do, we explain which factors in the input data influence the model's decision. Or there is a very important thing which is called counterfactual explanation. In the counterfactual explanation, we should understand which kind of data I will change in this model that can affect my decision. Or maybe it's very simple. We can do some visualization. With the help of the visualization, we can understand how my model is working in a human understandable way, such as decision tree or saliency maps, those kinds of things, actually. So anyway, so if I think of responsible AI and explainable AI, so these are the focus and goals of the responsible AI, which we have discussed. And in the right-hand side, we can mention that explainable AI, focus, benefits, and techniques. Now, so one thing we understood that responsible AI and explainable AI, both are interrelated. If I am able to make explainable AI as a crucial tool, then obviously we will get some responsible AI. So explainable AI is needed to form the responsible AI. And this is how the relationship is there. Obviously, there are some challenges of explainable AI you can understand. Like, let's say I am a very, I will say, computer illiterate person. Or maybe I don't have that much knowledge in that particular area. Now, if someone explains me a complex model, maybe I will not be able to tell. And many complex models will not be described, actually. So this is how the different challenges of explainable AI is. But that is fine. Everything is having some challenge, and everything is having some problem. Now, as AI continues to evolve, obviously, we will keep more focus into explainable AI so that we can get the responsible AI. Okay. Now, if we think of another important fact due to the responsible AI or explainable AI, though this has come into market even 3 to 4 years back, and at that time, different companies were having different kind of rule set because there was no global rule. But European Union has come up with a EU AI Act that has been launched in 2023 around June month, and they have finalized the regulation establishing a legal framework for AI in the European Union. And this is the first time EU is the first geography who has done these kinds of work. Now, if I think of the a little bit regulations criteria, so we are having risk categorization. In the risk categorization, we are discussing about the high risk, about the unacceptable risk, basically, then high risk, then limited risk, and we are having the goal of protecting the fundamental rights, safety and security, promoting of the safety and security, ensure customer trust, encourage responsible AI innovations. And the future implications are potential to influence global AI development and could serve as a model for ethical and responsible AI, as well as many other countries like US and other countries are going to follow this. They are trying to follow this EU model, actually. Okay, so we are almost at the end of the presentation, so we are going to finish our speech with one of the very important quote of Ian LeCun, who is one of the vice president in Meta, actually. So we are human. And why we are human? Because our intelligence is what makes us human, actually. Now, if we add AI with that, then artificial intelligence is extending what we can do with our ability. In this way, we are being more better human. That's all from our side. Thank you for keep your patience.